The Last of Us Part 2 is good. There, I said it. I said it. It's good. And I'm going to explain why. Before we get into all of the stuff about why Last of Us 2 is good and why all the people that overreacted about spoilers are dumb, I'm just going to say this review is full of spoilers. It's going to have a lot of them. And I'm going to put up a slate that says spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching the video right now. But if you do want to get spoiled, well, hey, what's up? I'll see you on the other side. So, obviously, the game was spoiled a few weeks before it was released by some haters. Actually, I don't know if they're haters. Maybe they just like spoiling things. And, what proceeded to happen on YouTube and the internet is a bunch of grumpy idiots have decided that they didn't like the game because they read the spoilers of what's going to happen and then decided, well, I'm not going to play the game, or I have this preconceived notion of what's going to happen in the game. But when you actually play the game, the ideas that are presented because of the spoilers, like the things that got spoiled, it's actually interesting. And I'm going to get out of the way first. I really like the game, but there are parts that are slow and hard to get used to. It's hard to play as certain characters, but over time, it tells a really good story. And it doesn't nail the ending that well, but it's a good game. The gameplay is amazing. The graphics are beautiful as they could ever be. Naughty Dog has always nailed the gameplay and graphics. The acting in this is some of the best I've ever seen in a video game, like bar none. Like, I know that's a low bar, but they eclipsed it and they hurdled over it. There we go. But because now you can jump in this game. So if you don't know the story of The Last of Us, Ellie is immune to the virus, which turns people into like fungi zombies, basically. And so her and Joel take a trip across America to hopefully create a vaccine. But when they get there, Joel finds out that they're going to kill Ellie in order to make the vaccine. And he had lost his daughter at the very beginning of that game. And so he didn't want to lose his surrogate daughter. So he picks her up and saves her. So that's where the second game begins. During the rest of the game, you find out how Ellie feels about that moment. She's finally told or finally figures it out. And so that is happening. That's her through line. But the biggest thing, spoiler, I already put the card up, but saying it again, spoiler, is that Joel gets killed by these group of characters, specifically Abby, because of what he did at the end of the first game. So you find out through the game that the guy he killed, the surgeon, was Abby's dad. And she is just on a quest for revenge. And she kills Joel. And then, that's it. I mean, that's the inciting incident. Like, every story needs an inciting incident. And this, Joel dying, was the story start. It was the start of the story. So, I mean, it's like, you always need that, and you need something gripping and something shocking sometimes to really ramp up the storytelling. And I think Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog, I think they nailed it here because Joel created a lot of victims. This game, the second game, is a lot about like victims and how do you deal with that trauma and grief. And Joel, in the first game, he created a path of destruction. We're on his side in the first game because we see, what his goal is. His end goal is to create a vaccine, but also make sure Ellie doesn't die. And he is just, he's a one-track mind on that. He's not going to change his mind on it or anything. But then in the second one, we get the flip side of that. Is like Joel is the villain in Abby's story because without reason, he had a reason, but without reason, he kills this guy without even discussing why Ellie needs to die or what has happened or how he can't save her to make the vaccine. Joel is a complicated character because while we love him, at the same time, he kind of made some questionable decisions. Yeah, he made the right decision to keep Ellie alive, but did he make the right decision for humankind? And I don't think he did. And we're human and we're all selfish. We're all selfish idiots. And that's why I think people are kind of upset at Joel dying, is because he is such a great character that they wanted to see more of him and they wanted to play more of him. But that's just not the story that needed to be told. What needed to be told is that there are victims on the other side of this. Abby, Owen, Manny, and other characters. But also, Ellie has been a victim of Joel as well, because he was making decisions for her based on what he thought was right, but he didn't discuss with Ellie about it. The doctor's decision to kill Ellie is like, they didn't discuss it with her. I mean, technically, they're going to murder her to make a vaccine. It's a complicated weaving of the story, and there's no true good guy or bad guy or evil person. They're all complicated characters, and I think that's what I really enjoyed about this game. And another thing I enjoyed about this game is that it's scary. I played it all in the dark, and man, there's moments in this game that are just absolutely terrifying. And I don't want to spoil everything, but yeah, it's just scary. The clickers are scary. The ones that run around and hide behind stuff and they see your flashlight and they run away terrified me. What I think didn't work too well in this game is the epilogue. So there's a very clear ending that I think should have happened. And I'm going to spoil the ending a little bit for you. Sorry if you still plan on playing the game, back out now. What happens is, Abby and Ellie have their face off. And Abby ends up walking away and not killing Ellie. She decides it's not worth to kill Ellie and Dina. I've already got my revenge, so I need to be a better person and walk away. And so it flashes forwards and Ellie and Dina are living out on this ranch. And Ellie has sort of like PTSD flashbacks, and she's freaking out. And that's where the game needed to end. But then we get a little bit more afterwards. I'm not spoiling that part. But yeah, I think they really, if you wanted to end Last of Us 2 perfectly, you stop at Ellie having her PTSD flashbacks of all the carnage she created in this game. She does some crazy stuff to get revenge for Joel. I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 clickers. All these people are hating on it are idiots. Unless they've played the game and still don't like it, then okay, I understand. But if you're hating it just based off the spoilers alone, you're an idiot. You need to play the game if you intend to play the game. Don't read spoilers and be like, well, no point in playing that. I already know the story. Yeah, you know the story, but it's the gameplay and the acting that is what drives you to want to play this game. It's amazing. 8 out of 10. Can't recommend it enough. And I'm out of here. I'm out, folks. Bye-bye.